Well, so part of the process when you fill out the naturalization forms, which, here's a copy of one here, is you've got to disclose your activities. So, like communism, anti American activities. And so in 2018, when he was naturalized, he failed to disclose some of the things that he had been doing, one of which was joining the Democrat Socialists of America. That's a communist organization, which, quite frankly, at that time would have disqualified him from becoming a United States citizen.
Oh, how about that? Let's bring in our senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano, to weigh in on this and also some other big legal stories. Disclosures, transparency, if they look into it, if something comes from this DOJ, is there a path for Mamdani to be deported?
Probably not. I mean, they would have to show an intent to deceive the immigration people. I don't know that naming this group that the congressman just mentioned would have been disqualifying. I mean, the group has the same name as the political party he now leads, which is the Socialist Democrats here in New York. This is not to say that socialism is compatible with democracy. It's not. It doesn't believe in private property. It believes in the government ownership and redistribution of assets. But as bizarre and un-American as those views are, he's entitled to have them. And if the people in New York City want somebody like this as their mayor, they're entitled to vote for him.
Well, we'll see where it goes. And it is interesting times in New York. Now I want to ask you about what is happening today. The suspected assassin of Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, he will be inside a courtroom today, Judge Knapp, in Utah, pretrial ruling over whether or not what he can wear in future court appearances. There was a hearing on Friday, and reportedly the tensions were boiled over into a closed-door hearing. There was lawyers arguing whether or not he can wear civilian clothes or in a prison suit and shackles. Now, I want to get your take on legally what is, the defense here, because I know the jurors would be looking at him and seeing someone in shackles. Maybe the concern is he's presumed that he's guilty. And clearly in this case, it does seem like there will be a mountain of evidence. It won't really matter what he's wearing, but presumed innocence, of course. How will the judge rule today?
Well, the ruling today is not what he'll wear in front of a jury, because the Supreme Court has ruled definitively that he cannot be seen in shackles in front of a jury. Even a mistaken display of a criminal defendant in his own case in shackles in front of a jury is enough to cause a mistrial, and they got to go get another jury and start the trial all over. These rulings are what he's going to wear in court in the many, there will probably be dozens, Bianca, of pretrial hearings long before the jury is even chosen. The government says it's for his own safety and it's for the ease of the sheriff's officers if he's either not here and here remotely, or if he is here and he has the right to be there. If he's wearing gear that would prevent anybody from harming him. The defense says the press is going to see that. There's going to be pictures of him wearing that, and that's the functional equivalent of displaying to the potential jurors what he's wearing. In my view, and if it were my courtroom, he'd be entitled to wear civilian clothing. He's innocent until proven guilty. If that's going to cause more expense for the government to protect him, so be it.
All right, so be it. Let's watch that. And we're watching what happens. This ruling may break today. It's National Guard into Portland, Oregon. Will they be allowed? We know that on Friday, appeals court had paused a decision by a 3-judge panel earlier this week that had allowed 200 National Guard troops to be deployed there. On Friday, the Justice Department also told the Trump-appointed U.S. District Judge that to dissolve the second temporary restraining order in place. I mean, we're hearing about these back and forths all the time, but it really is a huge decision because now Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield says the stakes are high for the Constitution. His office, he says, is preparing that to try and prove deployment is unnecessary and unlawful in Oregon. Break down what that means if the Attorney General is already signaling that and a judge is ruling. She says the fight is not over, but wouldn't her ruling mean it is?
All right, so the trial judge ruled after a very preliminary hearing that the troops were not necessary because the federal assets and the federal human beings were not unduly threatened. They were threatened, but the Oregon police were there to protect them. That's what she ruled. That was overturned by an appellate court by 3-0. But the appellate ruling was just an emergency ruling, meaning it was the ruling in place during the trial.